Oh, and some have called me the Martian Manhunter.
After months of petitioning and protesting, the legendary Snyder Cut is finally released for streaming. With better storytelling, meaningful character arcs, good dialogues, cooler bad guys, and non-awkward moustacheless faces, Zack Snyder's Justice League is every bit of what the fans are waiting for.
Not impressed.
So without further ado, here are the top 10 moments from Zack Snyder's Justice League. Kickstarting this list is the epic final battle against Steppenwolf, and mind you, it was epic even before Superman stepped in. It's no secret that the Snyder Cut was going to be darker and grittier than any other DC movie, but they aced it with the blood and gore, something even Marvel never played with. There's something so very satisfying when parademons get skewered on a trident. Okay, put all the action aside, the characters themselves are enough to rock this scene. Yes, they fought together a few times before, but it wasn't really together, was it?
I'm so sorry.
Everyone just did their own thing, but in the final battle, the group actually functions like a team. It's not every day you get to see Cyborg saving Aquaman and sharing a little bromance. And the killer soundtrack is an awesome backdrop to the adrenaline-pumping vibe.
We have to assume he's won.
I don't care how many demons he's fought and how many hells. He's never fought us. Not us united.
Planning a fight is usually the boring part. When you put the fate of the world in the hands of the most mismatched bunch, trying to get them to be on the same page can get entertaining, to say the least. From Cyborg's and Batman's dead-eye seriousness to Aquaman's why am I even here attitude and Barry's attempts at lightening the mood, it's this little perfect scene where every character is unapologetically themselves.
He'll break through the Unity's defenses.
Remind me, how's that again?
With the power of love.
Barry.
With a catastrophic energy surge.
And they actually finally had a plan. Then there's the suiting up scene. Backed up by another killer rock and roll track, the pieces are finally falling together. Does Barry always do a little yoga ritual before a fight, or is it reserved for the saving the world fights? All in all, Snyder made perfect use of the striking differences in this motley bunch to mix and match doom and gloom, righteous power, and goofy freakouts.
We actually finally have a plan.
We have a plan. This is the only way. There are 6, not 5. There's no us without him.
Resurrecting Superman is one of the major scenes in Justice League, but in the old Justice League, the only thing remotely entertaining was Barry's pet cemetery concerns. But Snyder took this chance to do a little bit more than crack zombie jokes and had the characters build a bond with each other in the most unlikely place.
Who's gonna say it? I'm not gonna say it.
Nothing like spilling drinks over a dead body, eh? This scene mashes an Amazon and an Atlantean talking about old feuds with two boys talking over a girl crush.
And you think she'd ever go for a younger guy?
She's 5,000 years old, Barry. Every guy's a younger guy.
Yes, this movie is dark. Yes, it has a generous amount of doom and gloom, but Snyder has perfected the balancing act between humor and depth. Then the red flag that charges back takes the dead hero to Star Labs, where Barry puts his questionable taste of clothing to the test with poor Arthur. Beyond the humor and the puns, this scene marks a key point in the Justice League storyline, since it's the first time the team goes off on a mission without anybody bailing, even though not everyone likes his plan and manages to pull things off. There's the seemingly human scene that's probably one of the most heartwarming parts of this movie. Superman's death is what sets the stage for the whole Steppenwolf saga, and the Snyder Cut plays with his death from all angles, from the loss of a hero to the loss of a son and partner. No one felt Superman's death more strongly than Martha and Lois.
And look at him and tell him how proud I am of my son.
And like Martha rightly says, the world was just mourning the loss of a symbol, but Martha and Lois lost a person they valued with or without his superpowers. In a movie that centers on much grander things like gods and aliens and planetary destructions, it really leaves a mark when they take some time to explore the human side of things.
You'll never love anybody the way that I love your son.
Okay, one human side of this conversation is played by Martian Manhunter, but he wasn't faking Martha's feelings.
The world needs you too, Lois.
Snyder Cut took Steppenwolf a few notches higher. This puppy-eyed, sentinel, armor-clad alien is so much more of a better match than the snarling, gnarly, yet awkwardly hilarious monstrosity of the older version. The xenomorphy Steppenwolf is a ruthless hunter, and none of the fish sticks, as Joker calls them, stood a chance. The scene also gives a much-needed explanation on why, unlike the Amazons, the Atlanteans weren't defending the Mother Box by the thousands. Remember what we said about how the Snyder Cut is not squeamish about blood? This is one of the scenes where it paid off really well. I'm not saying that I enjoyed watching good Atlantean soldiers being slaughtered, it's that it makes much more sense when people die from wounds that actually bleed instead of people magically falling dead. And Mira fights back, and given all the water-bending powers she has, it's good to see her putting up a fight instead of just taking hell of a hit. Gotta hand it to her, trying to drain the water from Steppenwolf's body was a pretty smart move.
Your queen left me on my father's doorstep and never gave me another thought.
Your mother left you to save your life.
Barry Allen. Bruce Wayne.
You said that like it explains why there's a total stranger in my place, sitting in the dark, in my second favorite chair.
Okay, this one was there in the old Justice League as well, and there isn't much of a change. But whatever the few tweaks Snyder made took this goofy scene to a whole new level. One of the most notable changes is the background music. In the older movie, there's a screen above Barry's second favorite chair playing Blackpink, and as catchy as that song is, it just throws the whole cool superhero reveal vibe out of the window. In Snyder's movie, the whole music video is replaced with an appropriately awkward and goofy laughing skull floating in a pink background.
You're the Batman?
So you're fast.
A few seconds in and the soundtrack kicks into action with a beat that actually fits the video and complements it without creating a cringy mess. There's also the dialogue changes that transformed him from a petty pickpocket to lactose intolerant.
So I am just a black hole of snacks. I am a snack hole.
And the scene changes a slight, but it gives Barry a little bit more screen time, shifting the attention to Barry instead of monopolizing screen time to one gruffy hero. Besides, Barry gets to keep the Batarang, so what's not to celebrate?
Can I keep this?
Organic and biomechatronic body parts. He's a cyborg.
No wonder Ray Fisher didn't like Joss Whedon's take on Justice League. Most of the depth and arcs in his character were scrapped out from the old movie, not to mention the full capabilities of his new body. In the old Justice League, Victor was just a boy with daddy issues and anger issues, but Snyder does the character some justice by giving Victor a heartwarming backstory.
I can't wait to see what you're gonna be tomorrow.
That night he played rugby was the last time Victor got to live like a normal boy. It was also the last time he got to be with his mother, and the only image of his father that night was that he was too busy to join his son on his big night. Besides, Victor wasn't just some high school jock, he was a brilliant young man. Not that school databases are difficult to hack, but hey, even that prick of a principal agrees that he's smart. Above all of this, Victor is a sweet and kind-hearted boy. He might bend the laws here and there, but he only did this to help people in need.
Sarah's family lost their houses here. How could that child pass her classes? Victor helped her because he's got a good heart.
Next up is Flash's run-in with his future wife and her run-in with a truck that nearly flattened her out of existence. I don't see what all the hoo-ha about the Snyder Cut being too dark was. After all, it's laced with these brief moments, or really fast ones depending on your perspective, that dole out generous amounts of character facts in a super catchy way. This Iris West catching scene, or hot dog catching scene, again, perspective, is one of those scenes that's bound to grow on you. Again, a solid 10 for the music. This was something missing in the old Justice League. Music. Not the chaotic, clumsy kind, but something that was really in sync with the characters' emotions, just as much as the events. And in case you're wondering, that hypnotic song is a piece of Rose Betts' cover of Song to the Siren.
Waiting to hold you.
Also, can we just take a moment to admire how gently and delicately Barry saved Iris, and also how his attention just switched like that to the flying hot dog. Pick your priorities, kiddo.
See, in times of crisis, for dog work, I always bring a meat snack, because it makes them feel calm.
I have come to enlighten you to the great darkness. I will bathe in your fear.
Coming in second is the freakishly breathtaking Amazon battle. You know that this scene is going to be a million times better than before when the futuristic spiky Steppenwolf with a cute squishy face drops in instead of a Steppenwolf that looks like a creepy uncle you avoid at all costs. Gone are the cringy mother dialogues, thank God, or rather Snyder for that, and it's replaced with all the glory and the might of the Amazons. While in the other version, Hippolyta sacrificed her soldiers in the death trap of a cave in a heartbeat, the Snyder Cut takes time to show the agony she went through in doing so. In line with their true spirit, she even tries to save as many as she could. Also, the Snyder Cut doesn't make a joke out of the noble Amazons by allowing Steppenwolf to destroy them in some puny 4 minutes. The daughters of Themyscira won't go down without a battle, and the extent they went to save the box, their perfect harmony makes for a scene that almost got me screaming war cries myself. Taking the top spot is Superman's entry into the fight, and boy was it good to see his actual mouth on his face rather than that awkward CGI monstrosity. All matchy-matchy with Batman in his new suit, Superman sends Steppenwolf flying with one kick, announcing not so subtly that he's back in the fight. Wonder Woman and Aquaman, pumped up now that the guy they resurrected is helping them instead of bashing their heads in, joined the fight literally in smiles. Something I found interesting is how Superman didn't return the sparkly goody two-shoes, which is good because after all, a few hours ago, he was legit dead. Beating Steppenwolf senseless, Superman shows a level of brutality that actually gives more credibility to the nightmare sequence as well. In the backdrop of yet again an amazing soundtrack, the trio takes down Steppenwolf, and let me tell you, this energy, this action, and this raw emotion, this is the Justice League I was dying to watch when they announced the movie release all those years ago. And those were the top 10 moments from Zack Snyder's Justice League. Hats off to Zack Snyder for creating this amazing piece of art, and thank you to everyone who made this movie possible. It was a long and hard road getting there, but this movie is absolutely worth it. A good response on this video definitely guarantees me making Volume 2, so smash the like button, and I'll see you next time on the TV Regent.